Carmeon, thank you so much for being here today. This is the first time I've seen you since we were like in the back of an SUV in like
E
2021.
exactly, I'm so excited to be here. That was a fun time, but I'm excited to chat with you today.
Yes, and I just want to say I love your energy always. So I'm really, really honored that you're here with me today to talk and also talk about something that's so close to your heart and so deep. So
Yes,
thank
thank
you.
you, thank you, and I love your energy as well. It's very calming, very
Thank
calming.
you.
So
Thank you. All right. So, the goal of this is I recently went through a divorce. I had to move into a rental very quickly. I was very intentional with how I designed that space. And then you popped into my mind and you went something through a loss much greater than mine, a death of your husband, Marcus, in 2021. And as another sort of female designer that gets that our spaces are so much more than beauty and function, I just wanted to talk about, how you managed that process, how that affected your home, how you designed your home to better support you through, in the hope that anybody that's listening that's going through a tough time can walk away with some ideas about how our home can truly hold us in these moments and how we can use it as a tool for healing, right? Because everybody talks about all these other healing modalities, and really it's also our homes that truly hold us. So that's why we're
absolutely,
here. So thank you. Thank you for
absolutely.
sharing. As I said, you and I are both very connected to our spaces, and we approach interior design with a, I think, I like to say, a deeper, more holistic approach. And what is the first thing you did in your home after your husband passed away, and why?
First, I wanna honor your own loss. I think a lot of people try to give different types of loss different weights, but my loss is definitely great because I've lost my husband and forever, but I can't imagine suffering a loss and that person is still alive and you have to go throughout life having to rearrange your feelings to adjust to this loss that this person is still they exist. And so I want to acknowledge that loss is loss no matter what. So yes, right at the time of my husband passing, we were gearing up to do these major projects at our home, like
Yeah.
a huge landscaping project. We had a bathroom that we had just remodeled that we found out we would have to remodel all over again because it wasn't done properly and we had water damage and all types of things. And then our final bathroom was the last frontier. And so we were getting ready to do all of these things. And so when he passed away, I had a lot of people asking me, like, are you still going to do these things? Or like, I feel like a lot of people assumed that everything would just freeze.
Mm,
And I, one, being a designer, and two, just being the very realistic and logical and analytical person that I am, like, I don't necessarily need change, but I know everything changes every day. Like, the human experience is an evolution. So if you are stuck in the same surrounding, there's something else that's stuck mentally.
mm, mhm,
So I've
mhm.
never been afraid of change, especially after my husband passed away. We always joked that everything that happened in the house happened around him. He almost had nothing to do with it. It's just he would come in one day and things would
It'd
be
be something to be
different.
done.
Something would be done because I was also the handyman. I would change light fixtures. I would paint a room. So he'd just come
Okay.
home like, oh, okay.
Okay.
And so
Cool
I would have
thing.
these, yeah, and
Just
I
doing
would
her
have
thing.
these conversations with him like, "Okay, sorry you're not here, but we're gonna get a pool." So I'm still
Mhm.
engaging him, but the biggest thing that happened after his passing was our landscaping project and adding a pool. And it was very
Okay.
controversial because he never wanted a pool. So it
Mm,
was
oh,
the
wow.
antithesis of honoring him. It was very much like, "Okay, since you're gone, we're getting a pool." So it's been an incredibly humorous and also
Yeah.
healing
Mm,
journey to see my home and evolve because also seeing these changes, I know he would love them. Like
yeah.
he didn't want a pool, but I know he would love the pool. He
Yeah.
loved the water just like my son does. He just didn't want
Yeah.
the maintenance of a pool, and I'm like, "Well,
Right.
I figured out a way to get rid of that, like, you just hire somebody." So, he he is definitely honored in these changes, but they were made not necessarily in honor of him. Sometimes it was in spite of him. So
Mm.
it was truly just honoring the fact that my son and I needed this home to feel as much like home as possible, no matter what that took.
Wow, that's a very powerful response and so graceful in a lot of ways that you made that decision. I'm gonna, like, tear up now because 'cause I'm thinking of my son. For the both of you, considering the loss that you were dealing with, it's very, powerful, and I'm sure it wasn't easy, and I love the humor that you brought into it. I think when we go through these things, like, humor is probably the most healing thing, um,
Absolutely.
and so I feel that here is very beautiful.
Thank you.
Take a second.
Yes, please. Um, I have realized loss teaches you so much at once. You're experiencing so many things at once. You're dealing with the reality of this person leaving or this person no longer being in your day to day orbit, and also what your life now looks like without this constant anymore. And then how that affects children, how that affects your work, how that affects home.
Everything.
It's so many thoughts happening all at the same time, and
Yeah.
I knew from the beginning, like, it was so hard to try to manage my emotions, my son's emotions, my friends' emotions, like, everybody. So I just quit. I literally just quit managing people's feelings around loss, and I
Yeah.
just say what needs to be said, whether it's funny, whether it's dark, whether it's
Yeah.
hurtful, whether it's sad, you just say it, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, in spite of him," and I'm like, "Yeah, he's not here
Yeah.
anymore, he can't tell me what to do." So, it's
Plus, I know he
one
would
of
have wanted this. Yeah. Yeah.
exactly. So, it's
Yeah.
I my humor and also just my directness, I feel like is what
Yes.
has helped me
Yeah.
heal, and it also is what allows people to come to me often to speak about my grief journey and ways to help them through theirs, and so
Yeah.
I think people like the idea of this direct approach more than they think they do. Like, I don't like
Yeah.
tiptoeing around things, and I saw a quote the other day that was like, "Walking on eggshells in this economy? Please." Like, so it's like,
Yes.
just say the thing. It's so
Yeah.
much life is so much better that way. So, yeah, it's
100%.
humor or
100%
not. It's so much
direct.
better.
Yeah, it's the only way to go.
It is.
And so you moved forward with those projects. I'm sure too there was like an aspect of that where it was like it also kept you busy and kept your mind off of things, right? When people like us, like, what do they say? Busy hands, calm mind. So it was also probably
Mhm.
something to like throw yourself into. So the act of it was healing. Um,
Absolutely.
so you are in the same home. You did not move homes. So
Correct.
that's a huge choice. Can you walk me through that? Because regardless, there's probably even if you got, rid of photos or his objects or his clothes, there's reminders of him probably at every corner. And I'm sure now
Absolutely.
it's easy to see. Now it's probably a beautiful thing, but in the moment, it was probably really. I don't know. I would assume it's difficult, but you're a force to be reckoned with. So walk me through that.
Well, it's actually very funny. We were having conversations probably about a year leading up to his passing. He thought we needed a bigger house. So he was constantly looking for us to move. And I was like, I'm okay with moving, but I'd rather not. Like, this is also our first house that we bought, and I'm like, I feel like we did a really great job picking this
Yeah.
one, and we haven't even stretched it to see what else it can do for us. If we're looking for more living space, how do we get more living space out of the house we
Mhm.
already have instead of going to look for a whole other house? Because I love our neighbors, I love my neighborhood, I love how close we are to the interstate. People don't get lost
Mhm.
coming here. Like, it's
Mhm.
great. And so
There's
he
other
was
things
very
to
much like
consider.
literally.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so he was just like, "Well, I think we could do a bigger house. I want another living space. Our kid's getting older. He needs a living space. His friends are going to be coming over. The adults we entertained a lot. So I was okay, well, how about we convert the garage into a living room and we add on another garage?
Of
And
course.
what about, so here I am ideating, and
Yeah.
he was coming around to my ideas. And
Okay.
then he passed away. And I'm like, I argued to stay here, and now my honoring of him is staying here.
Staying here.
Um, I that is how I've honored him, is staying in our first home that we bought together. So the idea of keeping this house is what fueled all the changes that I made. The honoring of him was to stay here, but to honor myself, to honor my son, to honor what I knew would be the longevity of this home is what fueled putting money into landscaping and a pool and the rest of the renovations, because I knew I was making long-term decisions for my son and I. So yeah, the honoring came in keeping this house. I
Yeah.
never really wanted to move anyway. And so when he passed, it was very much solidified that no, this house has been perfect for this
Stays.
long, and it will continue to be perfect no matter who's in it.
What was the internal dialogue that went on in the immediate days after where probably every second, every inch of that house reminded you of him, and instead of shunning that, stepping deeper into that and letting it overtake you and not seeing it as a bad thing and transferring that sorrow into this decision to stay and build and grow in it? Because I feel like that's incredible.
Yes. And the days following his passing, like I want people to know that I didn't rush into these decisions. The idea to stay
Yeah,
was a very quick one, but I didn't move anything, especially any of his things, for months. I think at
yeah,
least 6, 8 months. I left his clothes in our closet. I left
yeah,
everything on his side of the bed, because one of the biggest things was being able to go in his side of the closet and still smell him. Like,
mm,
smell is one of the strongest, like, ties to memories,
yes,
that our senses can offer, and so being able to smell him and his
yeah,
clothes and things like that, I was in no hurry to change
yeah,
anything. I just knew changes would come. I knew I wasn't afraid of change, but I also knew
yeah,
I could take all the time I wanted to make any changes that I needed.
changes, yeah,
And so the biggest change, or the first change, was like doing his laundry. The first time
mhm,
doing his laundry and then realizing that was his last load of laundry that I
mhm,
would ever wash.
mhm,
And so, like, folding his clothes and putting them away, that was like okay, I'm ready. So I can load up his things, and I packed them, but I just
yeah,
put them in the garage. I didn't send them anywhere. I just packed
yeah,
them. And then also my son realizing, so my husband had this incredible shoe collection, sneaker collection, and
mhm,
it literally was the design backdrop of his office. And my son couldn't quite wear his shoes at that point, but I knew it wouldn't be long. I have a growing teenage kid, and it was about 18 months where my son could wear my husband's shoes, but that was passed on to him. I did not move the shoes. I turned my husband's office into my son's game room. And
Oh, I love that.
yeah, so he and my husband was a gamer. So, like, my
Mhm,
son has all of my husband's gaming things. He has his gaming chair, his gaming headset, and the shoes are the backdrop. And
yeah,
my son wears those shoes every day. And there are different things that I did in that space to honor him. I had a friend who's an artist that customized a pair of sneakers for my husband a long time ago.
mhm,
And I had that same artist come back and create a mural on the ceiling of the room that matches the design that she painted on the sneakers. I wanted to make sure my son had memories of my husband that weren't just photos of him. Like, I wanted him
Yeah.
to remember how cool he was. So, yeah, his gaming stuff, his custom sneakers, and things like that. And so there are small touches throughout our home like that that honor him. But yeah, there's the changes I knew from the beginning didn't have to happen immediately. I knew I
Yeah,
could
that
take
makes
my
sense.
time.
That
Yeah.
makes sense. I love that. It just from what I'm, like, listening, it's like the staying in the same home and the really, like, intentional choices you made. I feel like a lot of people, when this happens, they close the house and they need to move and start all over again.
Mhm. Yeah.
And before I interviewed you, I purposely didn't wanna know what you did, and I'm surprised and inspired by it. I don't know if I would have the capacity to do that, and then on top of that, you made all of these design changes and choices that carry on his legacy and his memory, both for your son and for yourself. So it's like, you turned up the volume instead of, like, completely turning it down, which is beautiful, and I think that was probably also very important to honor him, but also for your son to build that
Absolutely.
connection, and I'm a mom, so I understand that. But now I wanna get into, 'cause you're like a powerhouse, what did you do for yourself, design-wise, of things that spark joy to hold you to sort of turn the page on Carmeon 2.0?
Mhm.
Talk to me about that.
Yes, because that this entire situation with losing my husband, we were together 15 years. We met in college, and it was the first time I was sitting with myself like, I'm a full-grown adult, and I haven't made a single decision that's solely for me in
Mhm.
15 years. So, I literally just started asking myself, "Well, what do I want? What do I like?" And you don't ask those questions of yourself when you're partnered with someone because 'cause you're
Mhm.
constantly having to consider someone else, especially when you share space with them. And so it took a while just to discover what I like just for me. What do I even wanna watch on Netflix? Like, it's weird not having to consider someone else,
Yeah.
but the
How
first
long did it
thing
take you? How long how you said it
oh,
took a while, what is that in time?
I still don't know what I wanna watch on Netflix.
Not the Netflix,
I
the
sound so
design.
oh, the design.
The
Well, the
design, the
design,
design.
it was probably I started to make adjustments, especially to our bedroom. Our
Makes sense.
primary bathroom was the
Yeah.
first thing that changed. It was the space that we had renovated about a year before my husband passed away, and then a year afterwards, found water damage in our shower and things, so I had to completely rip out the bathroom that we had just redone, and so that space was the first time I was designing a space solely for me, and I'm like, "Okay, it's a bathroom," and the renovation we did, it was very dark and moody, and I love it. It's still one of my favorite designs that I've ever created, but it was very considerate of male and female energy and
Mhm.
my husband's need for 10,000 outlets because he has a water pick and all of these things. But I made the choice to go from dark and moody to light and airy because I knew I wanted that bathroom to feel different. It was a space that we had shared for almost 6 years up until his passing, and it was the first time I'd have my own bathroom in I don't know how long, and I just wanted it to feel like a retreat, and so
Yeah.
it was light and neutral, and I'm not a neutral, it was a dark green bathroom, and it went straight to neutrals, but I love it, and that renovation took place within a year of his passing
Okay.
because the bathroom had to be ripped out. That one, I almost, like,
Right.
didn't have a choice. I needed a bathroom.
Something was pushing you.
I got
It's like,
pushed
rip
into
the
that one.
Band-Aid off, yeah.
Yes, I
Can
got
you
pushed.
Before you talk about the other design changes that you made for yourself, when the 2 questions come to mind. 1, did you have a double vanity in there? And did you keep the double vanity?
I went back with a double vanity. I did.
Okay,
I was
okay,
still very conscious of if I'm not the primary user in this bathroom, let's say my son grows up and this is his home and he has a
okay,
spouse.
okay. You were thinking
So
ahead.
I was thinking ahead. I
Yeah,
absolutely was still
the
thinking ahead.
logical yeah,
Yeah. I'm
okay.
like, no matter what
I
the
appreciate
primary
that, yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah, I
You still
appreciate
need
that.
double vanity.
Yeah.
I was designing it for me, but I was also still
Yes,
very logical, analytical, thinking beyond just me. This house will
yeah,
live beyond me. So yeah, I'm gonna throw 2 sinks in it again. So it's weird because I do predominantly use just one of them. So the other one
mhm,
just is there. I'll run water in it
mhm,
every now and again to make sure it
mhm,
still
to make sure it's like yeah,
drains
yeah,
and works.
yeah.
But it is weird, but I also know maybe one day I will remarry or
Yeah,
repartner or something, so somebody may use that sink with me, but if not,
absolutely, and it
it's
yeah.
there.
Good for resale. If not, good for resale value at the end of the
There we
day.
go. Yeah.
In the interim, whenever, you are ready to welcome, someone into your life, one of the things that we do in feng shui when you're welcoming love into your life is, like, if you have, like, a queen bed sleeping on one side, envisioning somebody there, same thing in the morning, like, just creating that space for somebody to enter in your life, so you do have that space available, which is good. The other question I wanted to ask you before we get into the other design stuff you did for yourself, how did you feel? I'm sure you were, like, in and out of the renovation, so it wasn't like this grand reveal, but the first day it was complete that you woke up and walked into your new bathroom. Do you remember what that felt like?
Mm, I remember feeling the relief that this renovation was done properly, and I knew I would have a bathroom that I could actually use and not worry about
Mhm.
3 months later. So I remember
So
walking
the
in going,
yeah.
I did it right, it's done
Feeling
well."
safe. Yeah.
Safe.
Yes.
Safe
Yeah.
is the word. Yes.
Yeah.
I was just glad I wouldn't have to deal with issues in that bathroom for a
Mhm.
very long time. I didn't care what it looked like, even though it's beautiful, but I felt
Okay.
safe. Yeah, I felt
So
safe.
it was a primal survival feeling more than, oh, a breath of fresh air, like, "Okay, I'm turning the page, this is me." It was more yeah, like a survival feeling versus, like, an emotional feeling, essentially.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, got it, okay. What was the next thing? 1 or 2 other things that were, like, very you?
So, of course, after changing the primary bathroom, the bedroom was right after.
Okay.
And I didn't
And
make
that was
a
intentional, Carmeon?
it was. It
It
very
was,
much
okay,
was.
okay.
I I didn't change anything drastically. I did get a new bed, and at the time of my husband's passing, or right afterwards, I had the opportunity to design some furniture for Tov, a manufacturer based here in the States, and they did a collection featuring Black interior designers, and one of the pieces in my collection was designed specifically for my husband.
Mm,
Um, it was a dresser that because he had jewelry, he needed somewhere to place his jewelry. The dresser he was using was a mid-century chest, and it was great. It looked great, but the drawers were too shallow, and he needed more space. So I had designed a piece specifically for him with deep drawers, a jewelry drawer. The exterior design matched this very textural installation that we had behind our headboard, and I made sure it was white, so it would just be this textured piece that blended into the room. And I had designed this piece, he named it and everything, but he didn't get to see any of the furniture pieces, and so I literally bought the piece of furniture. I had designed it, I have a collaboration with them. I ordered it, and went through the delivery experience of a customer. I wanted to feel like a customer buying this beautiful piece of furniture in honor of my husband.
Mm,
I did bring it in and I ended up using it for myself, of course, because of as I'm redoing our closet and moving clothes around and changing dressers and our nightstands are changing. And of course, my wardrobe is now growing because I have room.
yeah,
Um,
right.
I I have this piece of furniture that I now use. I keep my winter wear in it now, like all of my
Okay.
sweaters and things with these deep drawers. But
Yeah.
I think of him every time I see it because literally it's to the specs for everything that he needed. And now
Mhm.
I use it every day as another way to honor him. But it was a new piece of furniture that I loved that changed the feeling of our bedroom.
Mhm.
Um, in a way that you don't really plan as a designer. I knew it would look great, but
Mhm.
it changed the feeling of the space as well.
I love that. And is there any other moment that was, like, really, really you, all you, something you would have never done before if he was living with you still?
The
It just
all me
sparks joy.
moment is our pool, our swimming pool. It'd be all me. It was the absolutely sign me up. Here's my money. I was talking to my landscape architect. We were working on landscaping only. And I'm like, well, can you just mock up a rendering of what a pool would look like up here? And I'm like, this is how designers get our clients to buy in.
Yeah,
Just show me a really pretty
the
picture of it
rendering.
done.
Totally. Check.
It works. It works. I saw the rendering and I said, "Yes, take my money." And just
Oh,
designing a pool, even
mm,
teaching my landscape architect things. I'm like, "No, I don't want that tile. I don't like that tile. I want this
yeah,
tile." And having elements of the pool reflect some of the elements inside the house and
mhm.
thinking of geometry and texture and pattern and how I just could envision this space with the water in it and people sitting by it. I'm like, I can see someone taking a selfie in my pool and I want this tile to be the backdrop.
Yeah,
So that entire
keeping it
process.
real, keeping it real.
Yes. But I literally, that was the design process where I didn't even think of anyone else but
Mm,
me.
it just spark
Like,
joy, yeah,
it was a new thing. It was the first time I was
yeah,
designing anything exterior, and I was so excited to be picking out all of these elements and just seeing it come together. The process of putting in a pool is fascinating, like,
I'm sure,
captivating,
I'm
and
sure.
it was just fun. It felt like being a kid again. Like, it was just
Yeah,
the I just went to design school. It's my first time walking into a library of samples. I get to play. Getting to play, like, the element of
mm,
play was
mhm,
everything, and so, yeah, the pool, all me, all
amazing.
fun, just and I love I can see it from every room in the house, and it is
I love
still
that.
my favorite thing.
So, I'm curious the timing of saying yes to the pool. How did that align with the timing of your healing process? Like, for me, again, all I can go to is, like, a bad breakup and the divorce. There's a critical moment where, how do I say? You're seeing this thing in the mirror, like, if you're driving a car in the mirror in front of you, so it's very prevalent in your day to day, and there's one day where all of a sudden it's there, but you're seeing it through the rear view mirror.
Mhm.
Do
Yeah.
you remember when that was? Was this pool moment around that time? Did it help with that? Did you reach a point where it was in the rear view and then you dove even deeper into, like, "I'm doing this just for me," if there was a correlation there or there wasn't?
For me, I don't feel like it was because of my grief journey. A lot of my kind of come to Jesus realizations happened
Mhm.
very early
Okay.
after my husband passed away. And again, like losing someone to death is definitely different from a loss like a divorce. But almost immediately after my husband passed away, I had this thought that one, this is incredibly unfair because he passed away the day Design Star premiered on HGTV. Like it was, the timing was insane. He passed away at 6:30. The show aired at 7, and I didn't find out until I think 10 p.m. So it was as if he was my biggest cheerleader and biggest supporter for everything that I had done up until that point, winning Design Star. We had shot my show up until that point. It hadn't aired yet, but I think it was the day after, like, I was sitting on the foot of my bed and literally had the thought that he completed his assignment. Like, he did everything he was supposed to do, and he was here for as long as he was supposed to be here. Like, whatever happens after now, he wasn't supposed to be here for anyway. So I had this really grounding realization very early on. So my
Wow.
grief process is probably vastly different from the majority of people that lose
Mhm.
anyone in any capacity. Like,
Mhm.
so mm, a lot of my grief journey was getting other people to realize I was okay because I had come to
Mm.
this realization and walking them through losing whatever my husband was to them. I'm like,
Wow.
I'm good. Of course, still having random moments where
It overtakes you.
yes, I could smell something, or Halloween, like, everybody was like, "Oh, Christmas and Father's Day." Like, no, we
Yes.
didn't care a whole lot about those random holidays, but Halloween was his favorite
Mm.
holiday, and that was the big deal. So, Halloween was terrible, like, doing it for the first time without him because we made such a big deal out of it every year. But on most days, I will talk to him out loud like he's still here, or like, "Hey, I need to run
Yeah.
something by you." And so it all feels normal to me. I
Mhm.
didn't really have this click moment where it goes from in front of you to the rearview mirror, but coming to that realization very early helped me realize that, okay, if he's not supposed to be here, then every moment moving forward is a choice for you. You
Mm.
choose how you want to show up throughout your day. Yes, you lost your husband. Yes, it is sad. Yes, you get to cry. You can do whatever you want around this circumstance, but it is a choice. These
Mm.
feelings are feelings. Your feelings are real, but you still get to choose. And very early on, I choose life. I choose
Mm.
life. I want to live. I want my son to see me live. I want my son to live. I want everyone else to see me as someone that's choosing her own story and not
Mhm.
succumbing to the circumstances of her life, because I've suffered a ton of loss in my
Mhm.
life. My mom, my grandmother, my husband, like, lots of big loss, but every loss, it's another lesson to choose life. And I feel like that's why my personality is what it is, because it's a choice every day
Yeah.
to just have the best day that I can. And of course, not ruin anybody else's day. That's a big deal to me.
Mm.
I don't want to ruin anybody else's day. So let me make sure I'm having a good day. So yeah, it wasn't a click. It was just a choice, a daily
Mm.
choice. I
Yeah.
choose I choose life. I
Yeah.
choose this version of life that I want.
You're amazing.
Oh, thank
Uh,
you.
that's incredible. We share very similar outlooks, but I'm just in awe of the grace and the power, that you had in those moments. Just really incredible.
Thank
Just want you
you.
to know that. Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm tearing up again. You don't meet too many special people like you, I'll put it that way. Here I was worried about you, and look at me.
I give myself pep talks before these, and I'm like, "We talk about this all the time. It's okay. It's okay." It would randomly sometimes something will catch
Just
me,
takes
some
over.
story. It will take over. So I get it.
Clearly, I needed a pep talk that I didn't give myself.
Well, that's what this is for. This is me pep talking myself. This is for you and everybody that's listening. So that's
That's
why this
right.
conversation had to happen.
It had to. Okay, hold on. Let me get my shit together. Damn. I'm gonna look terrible by the time we're done.
You
Okay,
are
let me
not.
all right. So I'm gonna go a little off interior design here, just because it's been something I've been thinking about a lot. Came up in the conversation at dinner with my bestie last night, Hassani, the one that was fangirling you when we met you in the SUV.
Yes. Yes.
We got deep yesterday, and that is how through all this loss, how do you live day by day in terms of understanding the fragility of life and that anything can happen at any moment? How does that
Mm.
influence your day to day?
Oh my goodness. This is the perfect question. After uh, losing my grandmother, so I lost my grandmother while I was in college to breast cancer. And my grandmother was my best friend, like
Mhm,
girl's girl, best friend. And that loss felt soul crushing.
mhm,
Um, it was the first big loss of my life. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer like 4 months after my grandmother passed away. And so it was very scary. And she ultimately passed away about 5 years later. But I took care of my mother, like, her last 6 months on earth. I moved home, my job allowed me to relocate and stay with her, and so I got to experience her in a very different way. Instead of a mother-daughter, it's a caretaker,
mhm,
relationship, but also watching her transition gave me a different outlook on loss, especially, like, losing my grandmother. Like, watching someone who's sick is heartbreaking, and loving someone that immensely, you don't want them to die, but you don't want them to suffer. And so
mhm,
watching her transition and then her finally transitioning, it was a relief that she wasn't in pain anymore. I hate that she's not here because she's missing all of these things and I miss her. But the relief of her not suffering is what outweighed my loss. And with her, there was something about she's not mine. Like the lesson of she's not mine is what kept coming up after losing my mom. And the humanity of people is what began to show up in everybody around me. I'm like, everybody dies. It wasn't this morbid thing. It was just a realization we all have to go. We're all going to go at some point. And after losing my mom, it was very much let me be intentional, very intentional about the time I spend with the people I care about because
mhm,
we're all going to go. And
mhm,
it was super helpful to solidify relationships with my family and my friends and things like that. But then losing my husband in a very sudden and abrupt and unplanned and surprising way, like that, losing him made me go, fuck it. Like it was very much like this intentional shit is great. Sure. Wonderful. I want everybody to know how I feel about them on a day to day basis, but this can all change in the next 5 minutes. It
yeah,
can all change in 5 minutes. So it definitely made me get my affairs in order, like learning about estate planning and all of these things, like things you just don't think about until you're old. Um, but I immediately got everything in order. I went to a financial advisor, a lawyer. I'm like, I tell me everything I need to do if I die tomorrow. Like, what do I need to do
Wow.
for my son? What do I need to do for with my house? Like all of those things. I got that in order. And once that was done, every day is like, life's too short for any of this. Yeah, I'm going to take care of
Yeah.
my body in case I'm here for another
Mhm.
30, 40 years. Sure. Let me go work out. Let me not,
Let me get that
binge.
protein in.
Correct. Let me figure out how much protein I need today.
Yeah.
But I'm also very much like, who cares? Like
Yeah.
it's so crazy to be
Mm.
super intentional, but also
Yes.
very much like YOLO. Like,
Yeah.
I'm very intentional with the time that I spend with people, how I treat my home, how I
Mhm.
converse with my son, but making day-to-day choices like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat the cookie. I don't care."
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
who cares?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you literally how I feel because I may not talk to you ever again.
Or
If you piss
yeah.
me off, you're gonna know you pissed me off, but
Yeah.
also I don't care because 'cause you're not that
Yeah.
important to me. So it's
Yeah.
very much being intentional without the
With
weight
some
of
levity.
yes,
With levity, right? It's like that
yes,
balance. Yeah.
yes. So every day
Wow. Yeah.
is a,
Yeah.
"I'm so grateful I'm here,
Yeah.
and if I gotta go tomorrow, YOLO today."
Yogurt.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yes. I love that
book the
energy.
trip,
Yeah.
go to the dinner, make the
100.
phone call, like, it makes me moves with a sense of urgency to check on the people that I think about or check this thing off
Mhm.
my to-do list because you just
Mm.
never know. I still procrastinate, but there is this intentionality with levity, like, it is
Yeah.
that's my day-to-day, every day.
That's the flow. Yeah. And I think so many people aspire to that. That's like the sweet spot of where you wanna be, you know what I mean?
It is I hate that it takes loss and suffering to
Yeah.
get there. A lot of
Yes.
people don't realize it and move in fear because they're holding on to
Yeah.
things too tightly, but
Yeah.
I have learned, like, nothing is yours.
Nothing.
Nothing belongs to you. You
Yeah.
can't take any of it with you. So,
Yeah.
treat it beautifully while you have it because it's gonna belong to somebody else. It's
Yeah.
like you're renting your life. So, everything you're having, somebody else is gonna use, take care of it because you want them to take care of those things. So, I take care of my son
Yeah.
because I want the world to take care of him and I want him to take
Mhm.
care of the world. I take care of my home because I want people to come in and take care of it and love it. I want it to look like somebody cared about it, so people care about it. And I realized that you can do that with everything. I want to take care of my friends so that they take care of each other and they take care
Yes.
of the world around them. And once you realize you're literally renting the body you have, the life you have, the things you own, you take care of those things and you have this ripple effect of more intentional people, more beautiful things that surround you. And that's the intentionality with the levity of, yeah, I can go tomorrow, but my life is beautiful right now.
100%. Yeah. That's
Mm.
beautiful and something that I think many people, aspire to. And yeah, it fucking sucks that to arrive where you've arrived, you've had to suffer so much and go through so much loss, but that's also the contrast of life, right? We can't
It is
experience
correct.
the
You don't
darkness with
appreciate
the
the
light and
sun,
the
but
yep,
the
yep,
rain. Yeah,
yep. It's this 2D world, the contrasting world that we're in.
literally.
Literally. All right, so I'm gonna end then with a back to interior design question. If I had to recap, like, how you approach it, by the way, what sign are you?
I'm a Libra.
Okay. I was going for a Virgo, a Capricorn because of this, like, logic, and then, like, I'm a Capricorn, so I was like, the way you were tackling things, I was like, "She's speaking my language." That was unexpected, but that makes sense, balance, that makes
Mhm,
sense.
mhm,
Uh,
yep.
so, in a lot of the questions that I've asked you, like, the first thing was, like, the practicality, the logic, the getting things in
Mhm.
order, and then it was sort of like the emotional aspect that you were also very incredibly, brave and strong in. So, what tips do you have for anybody listening of how to handle redesigning or thinking about the home that's gonna hold them after death or a divorce?
I have a saying first.
Yeah.
So I got this nail tattooed on my hand. Literally, put the nail in the wall. Just do the thing. I think people treat our homes as if we're doing brain surgery, and we go through life. Our lives are meant to be lived experiencing all the things, like, just like you go to a new restaurant, or the way you should go to a new restaurant and try new things to expand your world. You should try things in your home. You should not be afraid of anything that you're bringing into your home, because nothing is permanent. You can't be afraid of picking the wrong paint color. There's no such thing as a wrong color. If it doesn't feel right, repaint it, but just do it. A lot of people ask, like, how are you so sure of yourself? I'm like, because as a designer, you put reps in, you're making choices, you're literally making choices all the time. You become comfortable making decisions the more decisions you make. And you become more confident in those decisions once you realize, okay, I've done this wrong. I've learned this lesson. I've done this right. This works. This is wrong. I didn't like this. This didn't work out. But it comes from making a choice. So you're stuck because you're just not making a choice. Make a choice. That choice is going to teach you something, going to teach you whether you love it or whether you need to change it. But make the choice. Put the nail in the wall. You'll enjoy the journey once you get to the destination, but enjoy the ride the whole way there.
I love that. I would add to that too, like, one of the things that really helped me, the home when we were together was designed when we were like I used to be an events designer and producer, so we both had stressful
Mhm,
jobs, so I did it, like, super zen. So it was, like, really low
mhm.
energy because it needed to contrast
To
the high
come
stress of producing. Yeah.
Yes.
And girl, when I moved into this apartment, it's like the brightest colors, the art that sparks joy, all the objects that I love
Yes.
that I couldn't have that had to be in the
Yes.
office, like, just color like, the opposite. It's like the most yang crazy,
Yes.
and so, yeah, I just listeners, think about that too, like our colors, all of our design choices, the shapes, the art that we bring in, all of this, like, affects us, and it can either uplift or downplay.
Or downplay.
And yeah, and if you need that boost because 'cause you're hurt, you're in pain from the loss, they bring that in, and like Carmeon said, without fear, you can always
Mhm.
change it,
You can change
see
it.
how you feel, like exactly, exactly, I love
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Any parting thoughts before we sign off?
I know this conversation is around loss, and I think people just need to sit with the feeling that loss is part of life, and we're all going to experience it. We all experience it every day, whether you lose a spouse, you go through a divorce, you lose a job, you have an argument with your kid. Like, that's a part of loss as well. Like, there's a little piece of your relationship that changes, and that's a form of loss as well. I just want people to not be afraid of loss. There's so much you can learn throughout the journey of losing something or someone, and you should hope that it just turns you into a better version of yourself. So don't be afraid of loss.
Thank you, I love that. So powerful, so true, and I just wanna say thank you for coming on, like, this was one of the
Thank
most
you for
powerful
having me.
conversations I've had, not just on this podcast, but in my life. So,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
you made a
Oh,
mark.
thank you. This was incredible. And these chats really remind me of who I am and why I do what I do. And so I'm
Yeah.
excited for today and the rest of my life, because, like, oh, I am pretty smart about these things. I am
You're
kind of like,
girl.
you don't stop to think about how conscious I
Yeah,
am about, but like,
yes,
"Oh, I kind of like that about me." So thank you for
yes.
this
You
opportunity to remind me of that. So thank you.
you're welcome. Where can people find you? What are you up to? Just
Yes, I'm up
share.
to lots of things, but you can find me everywhere at Carmeon Hamilton. My website is carmeonhamilton.com. I'm Carmeon Hamilton across all social media platforms, including YouTube. And you can keep up with me day to day on Instagram. I'm constantly sharing my life and moment to moment stories over there, but you'll catch everything, all the updates on Instagram. But Carmeon Hamilton everywhere. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.